Chanel is one of the most sought-after global luxury brands. But the life of the brand founder is tough. Today, we are looking at a film based on Coco Chanel's life. The film begins with the Chanel fashion show in 1954. After World War II, Chanel's debut failed. Attendees are disappointed. Chanel may become obsolete, but Coco is very calm. She accepts this failure casually. Then we go back to Coco's childhood. Coco has a very tough childhood. As a child, she is known as Gabrielle. Her mother works as a seamstress. This has a great impact on her fashion sense from a young age. The year her mother passes away, she and her sister are still very young. Their father does not care for them. He takes the sisters to a monastery. Before leaving, their father promises to come back to pick them up, but Gabrielle knows that he is lying. Later on, by accident, Gabrielle discovers her father has a new family. She and her sister are now as good as orphans. After growing up, Gabrielle makes the decision to go out and make a living instead of staying in the monastery. Before leaving, she says goodbye and promises to come back to take her sister with her. And her sister believes in her. A childhood friend, Adrienne, introduces her to work as a seamstress in a Paris fashion store. This job is a good opportunity for her. The shopkeeper is a very strict person, but the young girl is not worried. She even makes her own designs. She gives suggestions for the ladies on how to coordinate themselves. This brings Gabrielle more attention. Not long after, Gabrielle meets her first love, Boy Capel. Boy Capel is a soldier. Since Gabrielle accepts his offer to fix up his uniforms, they get to know each other. While at the pub, Gabrielle begins to sing a song, Coco. Boy Capel begins to fall in love with her. Then he frantically chases after Gabrielle. Because of the song, he calls Gabrielle by the name Coco. Coco herself stops using the name Gabrielle and moves forwards as Coco Chanel. Boy Capel invites Chanel to his mansion to meet his parents. This invitation makes the girl feel touched. But when she enters the house, she realizes it's just an excuse for Boy Capel to trick her. Boy Capel asks Chanel for forgiveness and says he loves her too much. He then honestly invites Chanel to move into this mansion. She wants a rich life, and she loves Capel, so she agrees. Before leaving to be with Capel, her mistress sternly warns her that Capel won't marry her. But Chanel doesn't want to hear any of it. At the mansion, Chanel learns to ride a horse. Among other activities of the aristocracy, she is often despised, but she still loves this life. Eventually, Chanel learns that Capel's lovers are uncountable. She's just one of many of Boy Capel's lovers, but she feels like she's different. Someone tells her, "Well, you are young, hurry up and make money." But Chanel refutes this. She did not come to Capel because of money, so she begins to design clothes to prove her independence. She names her brand Chanel. A few years later, Chanel breaks up with Boy Capel because she sees that he won't marry her. After leaving him, she returns to Paris alone. She wants to open a clothing store of her own in Paris, but she has no money. She must settle with making hats in a cramped room. Then step by step, she begins to build her dream. The second most important man in her life appears. His name is Etienne. Etienne is the stepchild of a baron. He is a successful businessman and a lieutenant. They knew each other while at Capel's mansion. Knowing the circumstances of Chanel, Etienne doesn't only help her pay off her debt, he also actively spends money to help her open a hat shop. And so, the first Chanel store in the world opens in Paris. Thanks to Chanel's effort and talent, the store quickly moves in the right direction. Not long after that, Chanel and Etienne fall in love, but when Etienne proposes to her, Chanel refuses. She doesn't want to depend on Etienne anymore, and she does not want people to think that her success is because of Etienne. And he respects her decision, but it isn't long before World War II breaks out. The two have to leave each other. Etienne fights on the battlefield and Chanel continues her career. She opens another Chanel clothing store. Due to her unique knowledge of fashion, the Chanel brand quickly is recognized. Then she buys an entire building in which to start the Chanel company. And due to his outstanding performance on the battlefield, Etienne wins his father's recognition, but his father wants him to marry someone who is in the same league as him. And Chanel learns this news in the newspaper in a cafe in Paris. Etienne confesses and it is the last time they meet. The always strong Chanel bursts into tears. Now she has been abandoned by her father, Capel, and the love of her life, Etienne. Chanel cuts her hair short for many years. She begins wholeheartedly focusing on her career. The night before Christmas, Chanel receives a call from Etienne. He says he is sorry for everything, hoping to be forgiven by Chanel. He wants to go to Paris to celebrate Christmas with her. Chanel cries, tears of joy, finally forgiving him. Chanel can't wait for Etienne to arrive, but Etienne crashes on his way to Paris and dies. Etienne was wearing a scarf that Chanel gave him. Grief-stricken, Chanel designs herself a long black dress. It's the dress that takes her career to a new level. The dress becomes the main symbol of the Chanel brand. Now we go forward in time to when the fashion show ends in Paris. She tells her story to her sponsor. She says that her life was never good, abandoned by her father, abandoned by her first love. God also took away her deepest love, but she overcame each hurdle. This failed fashion show will also pass. The sponsor is touched and continues to support her. The new season fashion show comes around, and this time, just as Chanel said, she is back on top. She wins everyone's applause. At 70 years old, Chanel once again gets back to the peak of her career. In 1971, Chanel died in a Paris hotel. It was the hotel that she and Etienne used to stay in. That is the life of Coco Chanel, the founder of the Chanel company. Coco before Chanel tells the story of a fashion legend. And that's the end of today's movie. Please don't forget to press like and share to support us. Let us know your thoughts on this movie. See you guys again soon.